Time takes a toll on everyone, they say. Time is merciless, it won't wait for us to change. Time, I am stressing out, I can't figure out what to say. Oh, time, just give us time. Time, looking back on pictures, and I find it hard to see you and myself in places where we used. Good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening from wherever you are watching us from. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hanipher, and I'm here yet with another episode of your Rights and the Law show here at the UNN TV. Please do not forget to share this video, and thank you for sharing. Please share with people you think that may benefit or might be interested in this video. Thank you for sharing. I truly hope, and I really hope that you are all keeping safe. It is a very crazy world we are living in. Lots of stuff is happening. COVID has for sure changed our lives for both the good and the bad. It is okay actually to pause life when you really have to and take care of yourself and the things that really matter. Your mental well-being, and if possible, taking care of those around you and the people you care for. This pandemic has caused more mental health problems, and it is very okay to seek professional help. Please do not feel shy. Seek help if you have to. News coming from Uganda in regards to COVID is not so good. My heart as a parent really broke down when I saw images of children stranded on the streets waiting for transport to take them back after this very unplanned lockdown. This is so heartbreaking to see. I hope these children arrived home safe wherever they were traveling to. Thank you, by the way, for the feedback you have provided from my previous videos. And to answer just a few questions, especially one about the Constitution, I personally would say a new Constitution will have to be drafted to lift on the powers of the president, and also draft laws that protect the country as a whole, not just the one particular individual. Another feedback was how my show is short. Well, truly speaking, it is hard to go for a long time. What would I be talking about? I really don't know. I personally am not the best public speaker, but I'm trying my best. I am truly trying my best. I'm still a work in progress, and as the show progresses, I might be able to record for longer. Thank you for the feedback, and thank you for sharing the video. And like we all know here, we're not the most knowledgeable or the most educated individuals, but we are here to share the little knowledge we have with you, our viewers, to keep you informed, to enable you become, active citizens. Moving on, we have all heard about the term leadership and servant leadership nearly every day, but have you ever actually tried to understand what these concepts mean, especially to you, the ordinary Ugandan, and how decisions made by your leaders, your elected leaders, impact your life and lives of generations to come? In today's episode, I will try to break down the term leadership and servant leadership, specifically in governance. I will focus mainly on servant leadership in a democratic society, Uganda being one, and explore the power of servant leadership. I intend that by the end of this episode that you are able to reflect on your elected leader or yourself as a leader and try to question that: are you that leader the world at large considers a servant leader or a good leader? So I will begin with, there have been numerous rulers throughout history who have led people, but these rulers were very inhumane and very destructive. They have committed the unthinkable crimes. Some turned into very horrible rulers. But does this still make them leaders? I personally believe that a leader is someone who does more than just lead people. That a leader is someone who can see how things can be improved and one who rallies people to move towards that better vision. What is leadership? As there is no specific definition of leadership, I will try to answer this, that leadership is the act of motivating a group of people to act towards achieving that common goal. It is a traditional way where one directs a government or an organization in a way that makes it more cohesive and more coherent. For many people, becoming a leader is a lifelong journey that involves embracing and, observing new skills and methodologies at every turn of their life. And one such methodology is the concept of servant leadership. So, what is servant leadership? This is a concept, this approach of servant leadership was first coined by someone called Robert Greenleaf in his essay titled Servant Leadership in 1970. And this concept has been used by people, organizations, and governments around the world for quite some time. In his essay, Greenleaf argues that servant leadership is where a leader serves all the people following him or her, not just a few people, but all the people following this person. That a leader is a servant first who focuses on the needs of others, especially the needs of those following him or her, before they consider their own needs. Servant leadership is not just a leadership style or technique, but it is a way of behaving that leaders should adopt. This leadership approach truly complements, the democratic leadership styles. Greenleaf, in his essay, he outlines 10 principles of servant leadership, and he suggests that any leader who carries themselves as a servant leader, they should demonstrate these principles. The first principle was is listening, where a servant leader is intentional with purpose. They are able to pause so that they can respond rather than react. When they listen to their supporters with intent, they are able to serve them and also build trust. For example, if your leader paused and when you are interacting with them, they are able to listen to what you are saying to them with purpose of understanding, and so that they can respond, effectively, not just like listening for, Then, that a servant leader should be empathetic. This is where servant leaders strive to understand and empathize with others. Where a leader is able to put their viewpoint aside temporarily, value others' perspectives, and also approach situations with a very open mind. The other principles are healing, where healing brings about transformation and integration. Then we have the principle of awareness. There is persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship principles of servant leadership. Why should your elected leader demonstrate these principles, and how does this affect you, the ordinary citizen? Your leader should demonstrate these principles simply because a servant leader encourages and gives his or her supporters a chance to think and decide for themselves. For example, you as the ordinary citizen in your little community or in your community, you want something or you need something, you present this to your leader, who then escalates an action. Furthermore, great leadership starts with self-leadership, and a servant leadership creates the rarest commodity, which is leadership without ego. We all know of those Ugandan leaders who actually have a super ego, not so? And I know you can actually name some of these people. More so, servant leadership is important because a servant leader leads from the heart so as to inspire others. Servant leadership doesn't lead for or because of money, but they lead from the heart. So in order for a servant leader to experiment this, they have to take big risks. While exploring the risks, they are able to create an environment of psychological safety. This means that a servant leader is able to allow their supporters or their team to give them feedback, and this can be both negative and positive feedback. Yes, that you are able to give feedback to your elected leader without you being attacked or being called a non-supporter. When a leader accepts feedback, they are understanding the other point of view, and also this enables some of their supporters to take risks because the supporters know that their leader will support them. I'm not talking about, the evil risk, but the risks such as speaking up, condemning evil, and so on and so forth. Indeed, psychological safety is absolutely critical because it's critical because it creates a safe environment that allows you as a servant leader to feel and learn as well. Unfortunately, feedback is sometimes very hard to accept by some leaders because some of these leaders think that they are strong and they're the best leaders the world has ever had. This kind of thinking, has led or has driven our country into a very, very bad state. We don't know. We shall get out of this bad state, but, this kind of egoistic thinking has led us to a very bad state. Being able to accept feedback, as a servant leader, you are able to change and also influence others, supporters to follow you. I personally believe this demonstrates leading from the heart. Is this the leader you elected, or is this the kind of leader you are? One who leads from the heart? To conclude, in everyday lives, we are all leaders in some kind of way actually, be it in the families, in the organization we work for, or in the communities we live in. But the question is, what kind of leader are you? Or what kind of leader is your elected leader? Are you that kind of leader, or one who leads with power or fear? Or are you a leader who is open-minded, one who leads from the heart, and one who is not influenced by money, power, or fame? Here at the UNN, we would like to inspire you, the citizen of Uganda, to play an active role as a defender of democratic values, inclusive prosperity, and justice. So as you sit back, before I end this video, as you go back, you think back and say, are we really having any servant leaders? Because I've seen leaders in Uganda where we go on to say, my elected leader where leaders are actually saying, I'm going into, say, for example, into the parliament because I have to buy I need this money to go into the parliament because I have my personal needs. They have forgotten really the reasons as to why you elected them into power, and they have forgotten truly believing that they are supposed to serve you first before they even think about taking my mom abroad for medical bills, for medical care, taking my family to wherever X location, or serving this. They're supposed to be representing you. They are supposed to be serving you. But it is very, very unfortunate. It's very heartbreaking that leaders in Uganda are not doing this. But hope is not all lost. We can still build a community or a society where our leaders can still be servants first before the benefits. Once again, this is Hanipher. Thank you for watching this video. For any comments or for any feedback, do not forget to drop an email for us at hello@getunn.com, or you can leave your feedback in the comment sections below. Once again, I hope you have a very great evening, great morning, or great afternoon from wherever you are watching us from. See you for now. Ciao.